Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different than what I normally do. Today I'm going to be talking about my top 10 favourite animals. Now some of you may know, some of you may not know, but I am a zoology graduate. I did go to university and study zoology. For those of you that don't know, zoology is basically the scientific study of animals, mainly sort of exotic animals. Yeah, so I studied that at uni. So yeah, I like to think I know a thing or two about animals. Obviously, I'm not an expert. Nobody is an expert. We'll never know everything that there is to know about animals. But I just wanted to throw out my top 10 favourite animals out for you guys to look at today, and maybe you guys can tell me your top 10 favourite animals in the comments down below. So yeah, here we go. Coming in at number 10, we've got the aardvark. Now the aardvark is a very interesting animal. It comes from South Africa. It lives underground mainly. Its long prehensile style nose is used for sniffing out termites in termite mounds. They're primarily nocturnal, don't really appear much during the day. Yeah, they're just a really cool, unusual looking animal, and it's good to see that more of them are turning up in zoos today for people to see. So yeah, they're pretty cool. Number 9 is the Bengal tiger. Now there are 5 species of tiger left on the planet. I think it's 5, might be 4. And the Bengal is the second biggest, the first biggest being the Siberian tiger. And I just really like Bengal tigers, just based on their appearance, really. I have one tattooed on my arm, they're not as sort of kind of furry looking as the Siberians or the Amur tiger, or whatever you want to call it. They're a bit more lean looking. You could argue that they're better predators as well, because they live in a more predator heavy environment than the Siberians. Obviously, Bengals have got to compete with bears and leopards, jackals, things like that. In terms of food items, the Bengal tiger, again, it has to be a really great hunter to catch some of the prey items that live in its home range of India. You've got deer and certain species of primate like macaques that are difficult to catch. So yeah, Bengal tigers are really cool. And then number 8, we've got the hippopotamus, and that being the African hippopotamus, biggest of the hippo species in the world. I've been lucky enough to see these in the wild and in captivity, and they're they're spectacular animals. Very peaceful by daytime, remain hidden underwater, and then at night time, that's when they come out. And they always say don't get in the way of a water source and a hippo at the night time, otherwise you'll live to regret it. Their teeth that they have inside of their mouth, they're up to 1 meter long. Their main fangs, their canines, whatever you want to call them, and they can impale a Nile crocodile clean in half. So yeah, big badass predator like a crocodile. They stay well away from hippos, so for that reason alone, you've got to respect these amazing creatures. So yeah, hippos are pretty cool. And then speaking of crocodiles, at number 7, it's the saltwater crocodile, which is the biggest species of crocodile in the world. And these guys come from Australia, they can get up to 7 meters in length, which is extremely big. They are the biggest reptile in the world, longest and the heaviest, coming in second to the green anaconda. And you've got to respect these guys. Crocodiles have been on the planet for over 200 million years. They're older than the dinosaurs. They survived the dinosaur extinction. They've survived the Ice Age all the way through to present day. Thanks to conservation efforts over the past 100 years in Australia, saltwater crocodile numbers are as big right now as they've ever been. And hopefully it continues to stay that way, because they are the apex predator in Australia, and for an ecosystem to remain balanced, it must have an apex predator. So saltwater crocodiles are pretty cool in my book. Number 6, it's the box jellyfish. Now this is a bit of an unusual one in a list that's full of, you know, big badass animals that weigh tons in weight. We're going into the ocean for number 6 with the box jellyfish. Box jellyfish, you know, it's the most venomous animal in the world, depending on who you talk to. In my book, it's the most venomous. You know, I won't want to get caught in a herd of box jellyfish in the ocean, because you would die a very painful death. But what is cool about the box jellyfish is, you know, scientists are actually trying to extract the venom proteins from them to try and kill cancer cells, you know, to try and aid cancer treatment in human beings. So that's pretty cool. They're an extremely useful animal to us. So for that reason, we have to protect them. Number 5, it's the royal python. Now, I know this is a bit of a cliche. They're my favourite reptile as well. They're my favourite snake. I just love royal pythons. That's what kick-started my love for reptiles. And yeah, anybody wanting a pet reptile, looking to get into the reptile hobby, I will never stop recommending royal pythons to people. I just think they're a great pet. Great companion animal as well. Once you get to know them, once you get a feel for their personality traits, they're, you know, an extremely comforting animal to be around, in my opinion. Yeah, absolute pleasure to work with royal pythons. And then number 4, it's the white rhino. Now, I really struggle to choose between the black and the white rhinos, but it's got to be the white, just for their symbolism, really. As an ambassador for the rhino as a whole. Rhinos, of course, are critically endangered in South Africa. You know, there's fears that they might be extinct in 10 years' time, thanks to the illegal rhino horn trade. I was fortunate enough to go to South Africa 3 years ago to work on a game reserve, and I went during the summer, and it was 2013 I went. And I remember them showing us the numbers of how many white rhino had been poached in South Africa that year alone. And I think it was approaching 1,000, you know, and according to computer analysis, the numbers were expected to at least double by 2016, which is very sad, because they're an amazing animal, and hopefully, you know, we can save them, because conservation does work. There's multiple examples of conservation efforts that have helped species come back from the brink. The good news for the white rhino is it was announced earlier this year an insurance population has been set up and sent to Australia, of all places. 80 white rhino have been sent to Australia as a backup population, just in case they do go extinct in the wild in Africa. So hopefully that was a good decision to save the species. Number 3, it's the gorilla, and this is just for gorillas in general. You know, the lowland gorilla, the mountain gorilla, you know, just gorillas as a whole. I couldn't really choose a specific species. Gorillas, as a sort of symbol for me, represent sort of family, being brave, protecting others. It's just a very personal animal to me, and an incredible animal too. You know, there's nothing quite as beautiful as seeing a silverback gorilla. Yeah, absolutely awesome animals. I will never own an iPhone again, just based on the fact that Apple mine a certain material that makes the iPhone in the part of the rainforest where mountain gorillas come from. So, you know, part of the production of iPhones is to the detriment of gorillas surviving. So yeah, just thought I'd throw that out there. But yeah, gorillas are awesome. Number 2, it's the African elephant. Again, elephants are a very personal animal to me. You know, obviously, as a social animal, the females travel together in groups, in herds, led up by the matriarch, who will be a big old female and of course they're all related to each other. You know, you have sisters, daughters, aunties, grandmas, and then of course you have the males roaming around on their own that will join the herd around mating season. Extremely impressive animals. I've seen elephants in captivity multiple times, and I've seen them in the wild as well, and they're an absolutely breathtaking animal. And again, as an ambassador, much like the rhino, they're an extremely important animal that represent wild animals as a whole and what it means to protect wild animals. So, you know, hopefully hopefully there's never a day where we lose elephants, because they are the last of the megafauna, which is a taxonomic group of animals that died out at the end of the Ice Age. They included mammoths, saber-toothed cats, giant sloths. You know, elephants are the last of the megafauna, so hopefully we never lose them. But yeah, awesome animals. And then number one, my favourite animal of all time is the great white shark. Now my love affair with sharks began when I was 10 years old and I watched Jaws for the first time. And of course Jaws is about a great white shark. Of course great white sharks are nothing like that in real life. I've been fortunate enough to see great whites in person when I went to South Africa a few years ago. I got to cage dive with great white sharks, and it was the greatest experience of my life, quite frankly. Absolutely awesome animals. Very powerful, skilled hunters that have existed on the planet for 60 million years. Again, this would be another animal. It would be such a shame to lose them, because they are the apex predator in the oceans that they swim in, that being of course North America, South Africa and Australia, although there have been reports of great whites appearing elsewhere in the world, but they are their main habitats. And of course once you take the apex predator out, then everything else becomes unbalanced. You have too many you know, food items that will then eat the vegetation, and then once that's gone, then the food item animals will die. And you know, everything just has a negative effect once a key player has been taken out of the ecosystem. So yeah, great whites are very important creatures. You know, and again, nothing like the cold-blooded killers that they're portrayed to be in films. They're extremely majestic creatures, and they're quite peaceful as well. They just, compared to some shark species that will, you know, attack on sight, like the bull shark, for example, extremely aggressive species of shark. Great whites just kind of go about their own business, you know, and of course, attacks that do occur are extremely rare, and very rarely result in a fatality as well. But still, a creature to be respected to no end, and yeah, it'll always be my favourite animal. Absolutely beautiful creatures. So yeah, that's my top 10 list right there, guys. I want to hear your favourite top 10 animals. Leave a comment down below, sub to the channel, leave a like. I really appreciate that, guys. Have a good day, everyone. Bye bye.